Okay, so welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we will learn about H mole or hydatidiform mole. So first of all, definition. It is benign disease of chorion. Okay, so it is benign disease of chorion with increase in malignant potential. Okay, with increased malignant potential. Okay, benign disease of chorion with increased malignant potential. It occurs most commonly in Asian population, right? Asian population. So let's talk about the risk factors. So risk factors, we have to remember the 5 A's, right? So 5 A's, first is Asian, right? And second is increase in age. Okay, Asian, increase in age. Then third is vitamin A deficiency. Vitamin A deficiency. Then another risk increase is increase in AB blood group people. Okay, increase in AB blood group people. And last is increase in previous history, right? Increase in previous history of H mole. Okay, so these are the 5 risk factors. Then coming next to the pathogenesis, right? The pathogenesis. Okay, so we know that in uterus, when the implantation occurs, okay, so implantation in the placenta, we got two types. The first is cytotrophoblast, and another is syncytial trophoblast. Syncytial trophoblast occurs, causes increase in SCG or hormonal levels, and cytotrophoblast is responsible for the proliferation of another materials, like it is requirement in PIH prevention and all. So okay, so in this the uterus, there is a increase in proliferation of cytotrophoblast. Cytotrophoblast proliferation increases. Not only it increases the proliferation, but although all those proliferative are dysregulated or unregulated proliferation. Okay, so increase in proliferation, and all those proliferations dysregulated with then increased proliferation is degenerated. So the degeneration is a hydropic degeneration. Okay, hydropic degeneration, right? So this unregulated and increased proliferation with hydropic degeneration. Okay, so it causes pathogenesis. So what pathogenesis are caused? Number one, since trophoblast level is increased, this trophoblast level is increased, so there will be increase in SCG production. So SCG will be increased, so there will be symptoms of SCG increase, like first of all, increase in vomiting of due to pregnancy, that is hyperemesis gravidarum. Okay, hyperemesis gravidarum, right? And second one is increase in cancer or due to SCG, cancer due to SCG, that is increase in choriocarcinoma. Okay, choriocarcinoma, that is why it is benign disease with increase in malignant potential, right? Then second last is, since it is a pregnancy, so pregnancy, the uterus height will be increased, but the uterus height of the uterus will not be more than the normal pregnancy. Okay, so uterus height will be increased, but it will just normal as like 20 weeks. Okay, not more than the 20 weeks. Okay, then since the normal function of cytotrophoblast, since trophoblast increases SCG, the cytotrophoblast causes prevention of hypertension, that is pregnancy induced hypertension, PIH. Since cytotrophoblast is dysregulated or not produced properly, not a proper, so it causes increased risk of hypertension due to pregnancy, that is increased risk of PIH. And PIH complications are also increased, that is there are two complications. Number one, eclampsia or preeclampsia. Okay, so preeclampsia. And number two is HELLP syndrome. Okay, HELLP syndrome. The HELLP syndrome is, guys, HELLP. Okay, so hemolysis, elevated liver enzymes, and LP is low platelet count. Okay, hemolysis, elevated enzymes, and low platelet counts, right? Okay, so this is all about pathogenesis. So okay, so there are two types. What are the types of H mole pregnancy? There's two types of H mole pregnancy. It could be a partial H mole, or a complete H mole. So what differentiates the partial and complete H mole? Partial means partial, P for partial, P for partiality, like partial, there will be partial fetal parts will be present, like it could be two legs or two limbs and all, can be just partial parts. Both the whichever is the molar pregnancy, it has to end. It is all, it is non-viable abnormal pregnancy. But partial has little fetal tissues present, but complete has no fetal tissue present. It is just like a bunch of grapes, a bunch of grape like cells. Okay, that is why in when we see in USG, there would be a like snow storm appearance. Okay, so snow storm appearance, it is characteristic of H mole, complete H mole pregnancy, snow storm appearance, right? Okay, so let's differentiate between the partial and complete H mole. Okay, In partial H mole, there is ova. This one is ova. Okay, so in partial, the ova is not empty, not empty. Okay, so some tissue, nucleus is present, but here it is empty, right? With this one ova is fertilized by two sperms. Okay, two sperms by male, so it is like triploid. The x and x, so it becomes triploid, 3x sperms. Okay, but in this case, in complete mole, there is only since the ova is empty, this there is only fertilized by one sperm. Okay, one sperm, and in this the sperm is duplicated, right? So this is one x, so it is they are duplicated, right? So it is duplicated, it becomes two. Okay, so in this case it is mono, since one sperm is there, it is monospermic, but it since it is duplicated, so it is diploid. Okay, so it is diploid, and in this case it is dispermic but triploid, right? So okay, so you understand this monospermic, since one sperm and that duplicated, this is monospermic and diploid, and here it is two sperms which get which with one not with one ova which is not empty. Okay, so it becomes dispermic due to two sperms plus triploid, which is 3x, right? So hence it is known as, since all the material is due to paternity, and all material is due to a father, so it is known as a total complete androgenesis. Complete mole is androgenesis in origin. Okay, but it is not true so about a partial mole, right? Okay, so next point, since although it is androgenesis, it is complete, so all the features we are going to talk about in next section, it will be more incomplete and less in partial mode. Okay, in common term, more, all features will be more incomplete and less in partial mode. Okay, so first feature we are talking about, increase in SCG. Increase in SCG, so complication due to increase in SCG is number one, increase in vomiting due to pregnancy. Okay, so it is known as hyperemesis gravidarum. So it will be more and it will be less in this. Secondary, it will be, there will be no fetal part, none, and here some fetal part will be present. Okay, then third of all, there will be less hydropic degeneration. Okay, in complete partial mole, less hydropic degeneration, and here will be more hydropic degeneration, right? So more hydropic degeneration, less hydropic degeneration, no fetal part. And third of all, one thing, two things which is more in partial mole, that is, number one, there will be scalloping, since there are little fetal parts, so scalloping, the two cranial bones of the fetus will be overriding the one another, this is scalloping. Okay, and secondary, there will be inclusion bodies will be present, since there is a maternity origin, so inclusion bodies will be present, right? So talking about the symptoms, since we talked about all things is more incomplete and less in partial, so let's talk about the symptom. So number one, due to increase in PIH, okay, due to increase in SCG, so there will be chances of increase in PIH, that is hypertension due to increase in pregnancy induced hypertension, blood pressure is increased, right? It causes increase in vomiting, that is hyperemesis gravidarum, right? Hyperemesis gravidarum. And third, the SCG has equal role like LH and TSH, it is equivalent, act on receptor of LH and TSH. Okay, so hence it causes thyrotoxicosis symptom, right? And LH, hence it causes increased risk of choriocarcinoma. Okay, we'll talk in later lecture of choriocarcinoma. Okay, and then since there is only grape-like vesicles, these grape-like vesicles can migrate easily to blood vessels of the maternal circulation. Since it is placenta, this will migrate to blood vessels of the maternal circulation, these grape-like vessels, which causes get lodged in the lungs and causes a pulmonary embolism. Okay, so which leads to respiratory distress in mother. Okay, respiratory distress in mother, not in fetus, right? Remember that. Then talking about signs on ultrasonography, we discussed earlier, since it is just a normal tissues like grape-like vessels, so it is known as snowstorm appearance. And this signs, since only a few fetus parts are present, so we will see it seems as in USG like a fetus is aborting. Okay, this abortion is taking place, just a few fetus parts, but in reality there is only few fetus part has grown. So it is known as a case of missed abortion, right? Okay, so next, since SCG we talked about, the SCG is similar to TSH causes thyrotoxicosis, the LH causes luteal cyst. Okay, so luteal cyst is formed in complete mole. Luteal cyst is formed in complete mole, and increase in choriocarcinoma. Chances of choriocarcinoma is more in complete mole. Everything is more in complete mole, right? Then last, let's talk about the treatment plan, the treatment and management plan. Okay, since it is a not normal pregnancy, it is abnormal pregnancy, it has to end. It has to end. So the treatment of choice is ending by suction evacuation. Suction evacuation. Okay, suction evacuation can be done by either endometrial curettage, or if not available, can be done by plastic Carman's cannula. Okay, plastic Carman's cannula, right? After doing the surgery, after evacuating the surgery, endometrial curettage with a vacuum pump is attached. It is like a curettage with bevel end. It is like a curette. So we introduce in the uterus and then curate all the tissues, and it is attached to a vacuum machine, right? A vacuum machine which generates a negative pressure, and this negative pressure causes sucking out of all the tissues, right? Then after doing the surgery, we send this tissue to histopathological examination to confirm that it is a benign disease or malignant, because the management will be different, right? Then after evacuating, the uterus is now empty. No H mole is present now. Okay, so now we have to confirm that no H mole is present. So what to confirm that no H mole is present? We will do a follow. Okay, so follow up is done. Follow up, right? So how to do follow up? So since it produces SCG, so we measure the SCG amount. Let's measure the SCG amount. So after doing surgery, number one, start SCG measuring weekly, that is once in a week. When three times it comes normal value, three times, that is in every 3 week. 1 week not normal, 2 week not normal, but 3 week normal, 4 week normal, and 5 week normal. So when 3 times it comes normal, we will do monthly screening of SCG till it come normal. Okay, when after 6 months, if there is normal SCG, we stop the screening and we will good to go. Okay, good to go. But by chance, if it does not come normal, that means there is recurrence. Okay, so most common cause of recurrence is due to, it is going to be a invasive mole or choriocarcinoma. Okay, choriocarcinoma. So there is a chance of choriocarcinoma. We have talked about in definition the first part, that it may cause increase in malignancy. Okay, so choriocarcinoma may happen. So we need to prevent this thing. So we can do two things to prevent this thing. Number one, we can do hysterectomy. What is hysterectomy? Hysterectomy is removal of all the uterus. We just not removing the content, we are removing all the uterus. Okay, so all the uterus can be removed. So what are the cases we have to remove all the uterus, right? So indications of hysterectomy, there are only 3 indications of hysterectomy. That is, if a female is more than 40 years and family is complete, then why to risk to develop the cancer as a female? Okay, so increased risk also already increases malignant conversion. Okay, so more than 40 years is an indication with completed family. Okay, then number one. Second is while doing suction evacuation, while doing the surgery, there is vigorous amount of hemorrhage. Okay, there is much higher bleeding. Okay, so if there is vigorous amount of hemorrhage, that patient becomes unstable. So we have to sacrifice the uterus. Okay, and third, if there is a cancer like invasive mole, we talked about the invasive mole, so we have to remove the whole uterus, right? Okay, then for the first time is that is hysterectomy. If female don't want to do hysterectomy, so we do a prophylactic anti-cancer agent therapy. Prophylactic anti-cancer, that is in anti-cancer, and drug of choice for anti-cancer therapy in HMOL is methotrexate. Okay, methotrexate. The dose of methotrexate used is 40 milligram per meter square. Okay, so 40 milligram per meter square is the dose of methotrexate, right? It is known as prophylactic chemotherapy. Okay, so where do we give this thing? Here is also 3 indication. First is more than 40 years, is same, like it can be completed or incompleted. If completed refuses the surgery, we have to give a high methotrexate shot. Then if there is much higher SCG level, like more than 1 lakh international units, if more than 1 lakh international units. And third is if the thecal luteal cyst, which is due to increase in SCG, thecal luteal cyst is not resolved in 6 months. Okay, so we forgot earlier since we told that we are stopping the screening of HCG by 6 months. Okay, so the thecal luteal cyst, which is formed by increasing LH, it resolves in normally by 6 months and does not require any management. It resolves automatically. But if it does not resolve, we have to do we have to give a methotrexate shot. Okay, those we have discussed. If methotrexate is not available, we can give actinomycin D, but it's not needed to know. Okay, so I hope you all like the video. Thank you. Keep listening, keep learning.